जी की जय गौर सुंदर निताई चाँद की जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह भगवान की जय अपकमिंग गौरांग पूर्णिमा महामहोत्सव की जय जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की all glorious assembled devotee ki jai nitai gaur premanande hari hari bol. Thank you everyone. Thank you.
This, no, 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 here.
I want to do this.
No, no, because they don't think they
Take the coattails.
Down there, put down the wings.
Yeah. And take that away.
Happy with this?
Hare Krishna, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Yeah? Okay. So, welcome to tonight's Bhagavad Gita class. I appreciate your coming in this weather, especially. It's sort of a bit inclement, but I think, like all of us, we come to take shelter. It's a literal shelter in terms of our bodies. But anyway, it's sort of a special time for me to come and speak on the Bhagavad Gita. And I offer my humble and respectful obeisances to the deities here, Prabhupada, and all the assembled Vaishnavas. So thank you. So first, we'll sing the prayers of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, as an introduction, a kirtan. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Givaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Givaradhari Yashodanandana Brajadaranjana Yashodanandana Brajadaranjana Yamuna Tiravana Chariya Yamuna Tiravana Chariya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda Hare. Jaya Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Om Vishnu Paramahansa Parvakacharya Asotaros Sato Sri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki. Anantikoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prince Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Sri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shamakund Radhakund Giriyovadan Ki Jai. Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki. Sri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki. Sri Mayapur Dham Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Right. So, first, we'll offer prayers of respect to this glorious Bhagavad Gita. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. If you repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. It's wonderful verses, but actually it's a bit of a sad verse. I don't see too much happiness in it, but I'd like to also introduce the verse for tonight is from text 20. Yeah, excuse me, I'll put on my glasses. They say you need eyes to see. Sometimes we can see Bhagavatam. Prabhupada was very interesting, actually. He was one of the acharyas that actually, his sound vibration, he saw what he was speaking. Very interesting aspect. So you can hear that in Krishna book. There's the Krishna book narrations. And it's such a simple, you could say almost a bedtime story, but deep in philosophy. So, right. So, I'd like to beg your blessings. It's for my purification. There's no doubt about it. And I'm not really used to giving Bhagavad Gita class anymore. I used to speak it quite a lot, but since certain physical discrepancies happen with my body, it's a strange old situation. So one becomes nervous and finds it struggling with the Sanskrit. But anyway, I'll read the text 20. It's first text 20 deals with about charity in the mode of goodness. And it says, charity given out of duty without expectation of return, proper time, a proper place, and to a worthy person is considered to be in the mode of goodness. And certainly when I used to be in Mayapur, it was always, we were finicky somehow with our rupees. You know, the rupee was worth a lot more then. But actually, I can remember Mother Kalangana, who was my Shiksha Guru. She was overpaying for her milk, and but the proprietor of the place, she was saying, he says they're overcharging you. You shouldn't do that. And she said to them, these people are poor. What's a few rupees to me? And that's her potency, her nature. She saw things in a true perspective, a relative perspective of her duty to the people there, the poor people. And that's when rickshaws and all these things, you could be cheated, but no, not her. Give him the money. Give her the money. And certainly the poor, maybe 5 rupees. It's not bad. So then it says, so to a worthy person. These were worthy persons. They were looking after us, caring for us at Mayapur. And certainly I had a chance to stay there on a lease in an apartment. It was very nice. But since there, I can't get to Mayapur anymore. That was my favorite place. It's full of mercy. And what to speak of the Vedic planetarium now, I have no idea what that looks like now. So it says the Vedic literature is a charity given to persons engaged in spiritual activities is recommended. I'll just say that as a first line to that purport. And then we go to 21. I'll chant it as best I can. So if you could repeat after me. Yatuti pratyarthatam palam uddisya va punaha. So if you could repeat. Yatu, can you repeat? Palam uddisya va punaha. Didyati cha parikhistam tadinam rajasam smritam. Is there anybody else who'd like to have a go? Yata pratyadukatardam palamudisya punaha diyate pardaktistam tadinam rajasamritam. Anybody else? Mothers, I know you're really good at chanting. Okay, yeah, carry on. Yatu pratyutakardam pratam kisyajavam Tistatam Jatanam Namtirashajam. So now we'll start the word-for-word translation. Yat. Yat, you repeat after me. Yat. That which. To. But. Prati upakara artam. For the sake of getting some return. Palam. A result. Uddisya. Desiring. Va. Or. Punaha. Again. Diyate. Is given. Cha. Also. Pariklistam. Grudgingly. Tat. That. Danam. Charity. Rajasam. In the mode of passion. Smritam. It It is understood to be, sorry. So, what I'll do, I'll read the verse. Very short verse, very short purport, but loaded with memories for me. But charity performed with the expectation of some return, or with a desire for fruitive results, or in a grudging mood, it is said to be the charity in the mode of passion. So if you could repeat after me each line. But charity performed with expectation of some return, or with a desire for fruitive results, or in a grudging mood. It is charity in the mode of passion. Okay. So now the purport. Charity is something performed for the elevation to some heavenly kingdom, and sometimes with great trouble and repentance afterwards. Why I spent so much in this way. Charity is also sometimes given under obligation at the request of a superior. These kinds of charity are said to be in the mode of passion. There are some charitable foundations that offer their gifts to institutions where this sense gratification goes on. Such charities are not recommended in the Vedic scripture. Only charity in the mode of goodness is recommended. Now, certainly if you watch YouTube, all the adverts coming on, promising you this benefit, that benefit, I get post because of my age. You know, have this charity home, give us your money, you can rent it out, you can make more money. So they think that actually it's a trick. It's a trick of the modes of material nature. It's a trick of this material world. It's a trick to give us more than what we've got. And that's the best for some people. But one thing to know, whatever you got, we should give it to Krishna in some way, as best you can. And that's what, you know, this whole place is an institution. It's based on charity. You know, this is what keeps us going. You know, this is a fantastic place. It's changed such a lot from the early days. For myself, I was I suppose a bit of a Scrooge. I watched the purse strings in the house. You know, my wife didn't really like that too much, but there again, it was something I just couldn't bring myself not to keep track of the accounts. But now we've got all these things. You got apps, and it doesn't make you happy, though. You know, that's the one thing. You get happy-minded. You don't even keep track of your cash. People are debt. They want you to pay out. Somehow or other, they want to cheat you. And Prabhupada says, this is the world of the cheated and the cheated. But certainly, going back to the days of in marriage, there were certain things that maybe I wasn't such a great guy. I was a bit stingy, it seemed. But somehow we separated, and I don't blame the person concerned, because she was who she was. I was who I was. I didn't find out. You know, there's some things never go into a wedding without being sure, either by the authorities and anybody else. Shri Shri Radha Gokunanda Ki Jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai, Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur. Right, just going back to certain history, that there's a place where there's something that Prabhupada says on this book here. Book cover. He says, "You are all the limbs of my body. Unless you cooperate, my life will be useless." And that's Prabhupada. He's trying to show us our responsibility is to be examples. They say acharya. And certainly with my children, certainly now I have children and grandchildren. And it's a very interesting thing. They come here and my daughter, she has a brain tumor at the moment, and she's studying or getting this therapy, chemotherapy, but she lives every moment. She's very interested in Bhagavad Gita. She is spiritual in her nature, but yet, at one time, we used to fight like cat and dog. I felt mean. But not really. She always respected my strictness. And so strictness is necessary because it's an expansion of love. As the spiritual master too, he'll chastise you, as Mother Kalangana used to chastise me, but also she would pick me up, enthuse me with her knowledge. And certainly I remember so much about her that I remember she was chastising me. And then she said, "Are you deaf?" And I said, "Yes, Mother Kalang," because I was deaf in my left ear. And I think that got her more angry. But anyway, I had to accept it because I felt that was Krishna's mercy. You know, and I remember another time she chastised me. I lost my keys and I dropped them in a bin or something I was cleaning out. And I thought, oh no. And she said, "You're a fool. What have you done?" And I said, I was shattered and I was trembling, but it was okay. It was Krishna's mercy. And certainly coming here tonight is part of Krishna's mercy. So I offer my humble and respectful obeisances. Vanchakal pratubhyas cha, kripa sindhu bheva cha, patitam pavanabhyo, vaishnavabhyo namo namaha. This is for my purification, actually. It's to learn the Bhagavad Gita all over again. My favourite book, the first book I ever got from a person called Hamsavatar. He was an interesting person, actually. He sold gems, very rich, actually. And I remember Prabhupada, he told me about the occasion that Prabhupada chastised him. He gave a huge donation. It was in Hawaii temple to the temple president, but the temple president ran off with it. And he said Prabhupada saw his mood. He was very down. And he said that he'd given this donation, but the temple president had run off. He said, "You're a fool. That's your fault. You should stay here. See that everything is happening with your money. Make sure it's not wasted." Prabhupada was very direct in this way. Mother Kalangana was very direct. That's the nature of a spiritual master, a spiritual guide. Mother Kalangana was my spiritual, you could say, Shiksha Guru. And I too actually asked her if she'd initiate me, and she says, "You're a fool. I'm a conditioned soul like you," and she punched me. And that was very interesting. So I was always corrected by her, but she was always enthusiastic about Bhagavad Gita class. There was one day when we were speaking about offering prasad, and she was listening, always listening. And she was working into the night, very tired. But she had her own connection down into the ladies' ashram there. And then I said about offering, and then she came. She didn't usually come to the temple room, otherwise she'd nod off. She's so exhausted. But she came rushing down to the temple. She said, "Peter Prabhu," as I was called, Peter in those days, I forgot to offer my prasadam. I was listening, and I just found out. you reminded me. And so she reminded, it was sort of a very funny situation. But there's something else I just wanted to say, if I can get to it. It's in Prabhupada's Transcendental Calendar. It says, an old father required massaging, so all the children wanted to serve the father. The father divided the right and left portion of his body to be served by the children. Later on, with the service, there was some quarrel between the children, and they were competing and hitting parts of the father that was assigned to the opposing party. The father said that you are hitting me with different parts due to your opposition to one another, but I am therefore dying. If there is a misunderstanding, please live peacefully. And so that talks about what Prabhupada was saying. Your parts of the limbs, you do affect him. You affect your spiritual master. You have a responsibility if you love him. And that's how you have to prove, the way that your real love is for him. And there's Kanakadamba Maharaj, he took such risks, and Radhanath Swami, in initiating so many people. He gives them a chance. Jayapataka Swami, giving a chance for somebody to follow. And it's spreading all over the world. He leaves it to their responsibility. And yet somehow they remember even the names of people. It is their ability, that it's their affection to the devotees. So there's another quote I want to say. And it's my dear, Bhakti Devi as he was called then, if you excuse me. And it's a very nice part. But it says, a loved one lost. Don't sit and wither like an autumn leaf. Don't lie and wallow in erroneous grief. Know that the path has been travelled before by those exemplars who have reached the shore. Follow in the footsteps of those who came, the souls surrendered to the holy name. And please take all you need of time, space, as a solace that permeates you through love's embrace. Oh, the world is certainly bittersweet, a place where souls temporarily meet. This sojourn of dismay we must transcend, and the Lord, he beckons us, my dear friend. So this is a cry from the heart. It says grief is one of those things that we have to be careful of. It certainly happened, it'll happen to all of us. It's something that we have to put up with the changes of nature in our own bodies. And certainly, I remember, as Mother Kalangana says, the ladies in the ashram, they need special care. This is not natural to them. They are mothers. But the thing is, but also, we're their brothers, that we should treat them as brothers and sisters, our mothers, in this way. And that this gives this distance which Prabhupada has given us in this country where ladies are allowed on the altar. It was never conceived of. And still, in India, they practice that they can help with the flowers, they can help with the cooking, but generally not offering the arties. So I don't know if that's changed now. It may have, but certainly that's the way it was when I was there. So I came to understand that. And I was once told by a disciple of Bhaktivedanta Swami, he said to me, "You shouldn't get so close to a woman, Mother Kalangana." But she never was a woman. She was a spirit soul. And I can see that actually she treated me as a soul, not as a man or a woman. And this is the way it should be. This is what Prabhupada wanted. He made this an ashram, a ladies' ashram, a men's ashram. We have be a monk course on the ladies, in the ladies and the men's, but I don't know if they call them monkey Dividasis or whatever they call them, but certainly they get a spiritual name like all of us, but it's Dividasi, you know. And the men, they just get Das. And some people have very long names that I can never remember. But certainly, this is Prabhupada's legacy for us. It's certainly we should learn to get along and learn to care about each other, no matter who we are. And I'd like to know if there's any comments or questions that say you may have experienced in your time here. And certainly, I'd be certainly interested to hear, you know. So, anybody got a comment to make? Questions? Otherwise, we'll sit and chant Hare Krishna. And but this Poems on the Path is a wonderful book, and but I don't know how many are available now. And certainly, it's given the thing. And there's one thing I remember from I'm just trying to remember his name. Oh yes, Bhakti. It always happens to me. But but anyway, he said that actually we should treat our loved ones as we should treat our own loved ones and other people as they are our loved ones. We should treat each other that everybody is having their own love, that we should love each other in our own particular way and yet learn to get along with each other. So I think I can say, Bhaktivedanta Swami, that was the quote, yeah. He's certainly a wonderful person. If you ever get a chance to see his last days, you'll see an extraordinary person that shows what it's like, you know, dying of cancer, but somehow smiling. And Radhanath Swami was his carer at that time in the final days. And you can look it up on YouTube to see his glorification, Bhaktivedanta Swami. Certainly he'd been through the whole days. He would speak. He even went behind the Iron Curtain, you know, distributing books in those early days, and used to come back here with Prabhupada. So I think we'll allow now to get ready for the Mangalarti. So thank you for your kind listening. And there's a comment here.
Thank you for the gospel. My question is about if you have to sum up charity in the mode of goodness, what would be charity in the mode of goodness?
Well, it's certainly clear from that. It's to a special institution, not to the institutions that basically actually are after your money to feed you a better life, and then at the end of your life there's nothing you can give to your, pass on to your children, especially in this day and age. And in the mode of goodness, the thing is, the best way is to distribute Prabhupada's books, no matter what you can do. I can't get out on Harinam now, it's just a thing. But when I can, I try and sponsor. There's Bhagavad Gitas, Bhagavatams. That's the nice way. Certainly I had a wonderful time with Bhagavatams, even in Gujarati, somehow or other. I knew quite a few people who could speak Gujarati and read it. So it was an experience I'll never forget. Tulsi House is one of those places where you meet all sorts of people and you just ask them, or you look at a person's face, you see, look at the expression on their face, and certainly that's been the way with my Guru Maharaj's sort of divine prayers. It's the books have gone just like that. We've completely run out. They're having to new print runs. And so when I get some, I'll start to distribute them again, because that's my service direct to my Guru Maharaj. It's something I like to do, but I don't give them for free unless it's a Prabhupada disciple or something like that. It's so it's a good thing, because it's the best. The best is if you can serve your spiritual master directly, or the person in your ashram. Look after them. Actually, the mothers have a mother, Mother Jagat Priya. So she's an example. She's exemplary in her way she treats everyone. Parama Karuna, Damodar here, they look after us, and Krishna Nam, I mustn't forget him. He's got such a job, such a service. It includes a Haveli. When I was here doing Temple Commander service, which was for 19 years, it was something special, but it was only this building. But I liked it. It was something that, in the end, in 2019, when COVID, they took me out because I was an old man. And to protect me, and Krishna's grace, I never got COVID. I saw our spiritual, our president, Mother Vishaka, and we were staying up there in the COVID time, sort of a place of shelter, and it was nice because I used to clean up there, and but I was with a walking stick then, but since that time I lost the use of my legs, so now I've got a walking mate here with Damodar, and certainly he's my support in every way. So you should look after each other in that way and be chums, as they say in the old English language. So thank you. Thank you for listening. And it's 5 minutes. And Ashoka is going to be in here. Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna. And all the best for Gaur Pranim. Hare Krishna. And don't forget to sponsor some sets, if you can.
His Grace Spiritual Ki Jai.